Hi, y'all. Welcome back to the saloon. I know it's been a while, but I've been busy with life. Been doing a lot of gigs and just a lot of everyday stuff in my general life that's taken a lot of time. But I've got a little bit of time on my hands and I'm back. Hey, before we go any further, if you wouldn't mind, go up and hit that subscribe button and give us a like or a comment. Maybe tell us what you want to see on the show. Tell me what you like about the show, whatever. Well, this show's usually, I feature stories from way back when in my musical career. But today, um, I think we're going to shift gears and do something that happened a little bit more recent because there's been a lot of talk about it, and I guess I'm ready to finally tell the story about the Paul McCartney social media experiment. Now, some of you might not be aware of this. I'm sure most of you are. But Paul McCartney came and played in Winston-Salem back in May of this year. And I told everyone that I opened up the show for him. Now, did this happen? No. But why did I do it? What was the point of me doing it? Well, I'm going to tell you the whole story and how it all unraveled. I'm driving down the road back in February when all of a sudden I hear on the radio that Paul McCartney is coming to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Well, I thought that's kind of crazy. Winston-Salem, North Carolina? I mean, Paul McCartney could go a lot of places, but Winston-Salem is just that's a fair sized city, but not where you expect to see Paul McCartney play. And, let me preface before I go into the story by saying that, I'm kind of irked by social media. I don't really like it. It's a necessary tool. I don't like Instagram or any of this stuff, really. It's just, it seems very time consuming, but, I get it. Musicians have to do it. It's part of the gig. But what really irks me about social media is that anybody can say anything that they want to and make up anything that they've done or whatever, and folks just believe it, and it's kind of bizarre to me. And it's like anything that happens on social media, folks just take it for heart, and folks can just lie and say that they've done this and done that, and you can just fake your whole reality. And that's the other thing that bothers me about it is that it takes away from reality. And especially for musicians that have spent their whole life honing their craft, and putting in the hours and whatnot. It's kind of unfair when you consider someone can just picked up an acoustic guitar a year ago can get on social media and act like they're a superstar when they're really not. So with that being said, I'm riding down the road in this past February, and I hear on the radio that Paul McCartney's coming on. Well, I thought to myself, with that in mind about social media and the whole fake it, and everybody will believe what you say if you put it on social media. I just took out my phone, opened the Facebook app, and spoke into it. I just found out that I'm opening for Paul McCartney in Winston-Salem in May, on May 21st. I had just heard the date and everything on the radio, and I just put the phone down, and I kind of chuckled to myself, and I thought, well, there'll probably be a couple that bite, and it won't pick up on that this is just a ruse. But I kind of wanted to have a social media experiment, sorry. Where I could just kind of see how that really plays out. Plant the seed and just watch and see what happens. Are people going to believe it? Are they going to share it? It kind of seemed very crazy to me, and that anyone would believe that out of all the people that they could find to open up for Paul McCartney, that they would pick me. I mean, I've done some stuff, but I think they would have picked somebody a little more higher up on the level and well known. And the other thing too is Paul McCartney really going to have an opening act? He's Paul McCartney. Well, I did what I did on Facebook. I said that I was going to open up for him. And I got back to the house. I just went outside and started working in the yard, mowing the grass, weed eating, doing all that stuff that has to be done every week in the summertime. So when I got back inside about 2 hours later, my fiance called me and she said, "Have you looked at Facebook?" And I said, "No." But I saw that I had like 300 or 400 notifications within 2 hours, which really doesn't happen on my social media too much. And when I opened it up, I was stunned. It just had comment after comment after comment, like, "Way to go, I can't believe it," And so, this went on into the night to where, I think the thing ended up having close to 1,000 reactions to it and God knows how many comments. And it was really wild because I started getting all these messages and emails and texts from people that I hadn't talked to in, some of them a decade, and just people that had just fallen out of my life that were like, "Hey, can you get me 3 front row seats? Can you take me backstage? We'll be your roadie," and it just kind of blew my mind, and I thought, wow, this little thing that you conjured up, this morning is really taking off. And so Kelly, my fiance, we were laughing about it and whatnot and going, how can people believe this? Because, I was always told, like, believe nothing you hear, half of what you see, and hey, if it's social media, just forget it. Just close it up. Get out of the metaverse, man. But she said, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna? I said, I'm just gonna ride it out. I said, because if you think about it, I said, everything is forgotten in 2 weeks. It's out of their mind. We live in such a short-term society as far as with reels and they don't want to have anything that's long anymore or anything, so people have just kind of become it's just here today gone tomorrow kind of society. And I know that. And I also told her, I said, and the other thing is that if the people are thinking about coming to see me open, once they see the ticket prices, they're probably going to go, "Nah, I think we can see him around town somewhere in a neighboring state or city." So, when people would come up to me, I thought to myself, I said, well, eventually someone's going to come up to you in public and ask you about this. So what are you going to do? And so I had a canned response for everyone that asked me about opening for Paul. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Hey, I heard you're opening for Paul McCartney, And I would just say, how about that? And that was it. I wouldn't elaborate on it anymore, And I didn't feel obligated to. And I didn't feel like that I, was being, doing something wrong or anything like that. Because, hey, it's up to the reader to believe what he or she wants to believe or what she or he doesn't want to believe, I'm just putting it out there. And, folks should know me by now. If they follow me, they know that I'm a jokester. They know that I, have a wild sense of humor. And, yes, I have opened for Buddy Guy. Yes, all the other things I've told you in this series are 120% true. But that doesn't mean I'm not able to, have some fun. So I let this thing ride out, and it was just crazy, I would have people contact me, like I said, and everything. So I knew that once that the Paul McCartney show came about, that I wanted to follow up, that night. And so I got home from a gig, and when I got home, I thought, well, you know what? Let's just make this even more transparent, so that when the gig's up, people can look back and go, how ridiculous was this, and hopefully maybe take something away from it, about social media and faking your life and reality on social media. I mean, look what that the girl that lost her life last summer, Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. I made fun of Brian Laundrie in my Chet videos. But how sad, they were just, if you looked at her social media, it looked like she and her boyfriend were living the dream, in this beautiful, fantastic, caring life. They cared about each other, love each other, and sweet, and it couldn't be further from the truth. So, to make the gig even more ridiculous, I found a picture of Paul McCartney and a fan that someone had, looked like they had taken a selfie, and it was just kind of a shaky photo, but I took another photo of me and just did a really bad Photoshop job on purpose and posted on social media at like midnight that, something about, I just got through opening for Paul McCartney and, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to post all the posts on here as we go along as I'm talking about them. And once again, all the reactions, all the comments, all the, it's like people, I don't know if they just want to believe or if it's just they've been taken over by social media. It's just gotten that deep into them. But, I thought the bad Photoshop would kind of give it away, and kind of let people know, hey, this was a big joke. Nope. So, I guess about, about 2 weeks after that, somewhere around that period, I decided one afternoon, I thought, well, let's have this a little bit more fun with this, let's see how far we can really take this thing, and or how far I can take it. And I decided to got a piece of paper and wrote out something like, Matt, always never give up on your dreams, or something like, I can't remember what I put on there. But anyway, I wrote it, and then I just found a signature of Paul McCartney, his signature online, just a Google image of it, and Photoshopped that in. It's my handwriting. The note is my handwriting to me with a superimposed Paul McCartney signature. And, I put one of those sappy Facebook posts about never give up on your dreams kind of thing. Like, we all know that, right? And so, once again, hundreds and hundreds of reactions and comments, and I never replied to any of them. I never, I just kind of chuckled as they rolled in, and so after that, yeah, I know what you're saying. Come on, Matt. So after that, somebody actually, the morning after that, when I woke up, a friend of mine named Gary Fan, I just produced an album for him, sent me a text and said, hey man, have you seen this person on Facebook that's going around and leaving comments under everyone's comments, calling you out and trying to let people know that this is a hoax? And I thought to myself, first of all, well, who takes the time to do that? It's kind of like, and sure enough, I mean, he was right. I went and looked, and not only had they taken the time to do that, but I think they also said something like they had gone and made a Facebook profile with the Paul McCartney advertisement as the profile pic, and it said the name of the profile was Matt's Joke is Stupid. And this person, it looked like they had done this at probably like 4 o'clock in the morning, right? And so, I mean, and that just played into more of what I was trying to do. It just furthered my little experiment into a whole new dimension for me, observing it that, wow, I mean, here this is just a complete and utter joke that someone has gotten emotionally invested in and feels like they need to warn the social media villages that, hey man. I posted another pic after that. I had done a gig with my Lowdown Blues Review in Bristol, Tennessee, and my good friend and a great blues musician, Billy Crawford, came out that night and sat in with us and whatnot, and we took a picture, with each other before the show. And so I took that picture and just superimposed Paul McCartney where Billy was. And posted again, about here's another pic from the Paul McCartney concert backstage. This one was a little bit better done. It wasn't as bad photoshopped as the autograph or the initial the night of the concert photo. But same thing, more reactions. And then I started getting some people that were like really disturbed, like, man, you just keep kicking this dead horse, It's like, well, why not? It's kind of fun, and I don't feel like I did anything bad, or once again, I have no shame whatsoever, Hey, if you don't know who I am by now, and that, some things you can take with a grain of salt, I don't put my politics out there. I don't put, number one, I don't worship politicians, but I don't put anything really about my personal life. Most of what I do out here is just, it's for entertainment purposes, and, just like this show. So anyway, I hope everybody had a fun ride with that. I know some people knew what was going on, that picked up on it and laughed their butts off, and it was a good all-around experiment. And also, what I do, what I just said, it's entertainment. It was entertainment, live entertainment, basically, and it was unfolding as you watched it, and I was happy I did it. Hey, listen, if you like this stuff, I hope you continue to watch the channel. I'm back up to speed. I'll be having some new videos coming out. Got Out of Control Vintage, new episode of it coming. It might be already out by the time I put this out. I don't know what order these will come out in, but if I can get you to do one thing, honey, please go down there. I don't know where it is. I think it's like on this side if I'm looking at the camera. But go down and please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, man, and it's just, I don't know. YouTube's tough. You can't fake it. That's one thing you can't do on YouTube is fake it. You really can't. You can buy subscribers and likes and stuff, but who wants to do that? Let's be transparent here. But no, really, help me get up to 1,000. Let's get on 1,000. Maybe do some live streams and stuff like that. But anyway, it's good to be back at the saloon. Good to have you back at the saloon. Please hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. Helps us get in the algorithm. Whatever, beat that or outsmart it, whatever you have to do. And let me know if there's something on your mind. I'm always up for a comment. So that's me. Down to the last drop, honey. It's time to go refuel. I'll catch you next time at the saloon. All right? Be good.